Hello and welcome to the Apple, iPhone, iOS Voiceover Compatible Games Developer Interview Series. I'm your host, Aaron Spelker. Apple, iPhone, iOS Voiceover Compatible Games is a group that focuses on all things accessibility with mobile gaming. And today we have a return visitor in Joe Quirk, the developer of Circus Master's Revenge. Joe, welcome.
Hello.
Hi, Joe. Joe, you have,
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you great. Can you hear us? Joe?
You hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Do you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, great. So Joe, you have the special place here in our developer interview series as one. Were the very first YouTube interview we did, and you are also
Number one's better than number two.
Right, you're number one there, and you're also the number one in the first person who's returned to the interview series. So you're holding all the titles right now. So congrats to you. So Joe, we have you on today because you are getting very close to releasing part 3 of Circus Master's Revenge. And we wanted to touch base, get an update from you of what's going on with Circus Master's Revenge and Mental Vision, and just get all the information for the community members who are, excited for part 3 to come out.
Well, I know everybody's eager because I get a lot of emails. What's going on, Joe?
Yeah, hopefully nice. So, hopefully they're being nice to you.
Yeah. Well, I have been downloaded in over 227 countries, and
that's amazing.
So, yeah, I didn't know there was that many iPhone users in the world, in that many countries. Yeah. I thought, Canada and Mexico maybe, and, obviously the US and the UK, but, we're getting downloaded in Zimbabwe.
Right.
Like, what the hell? How do people in Zimbabwe have iPhones? And it was blind gamers in Zimbabwe, I thought they just I don't know, it was like the 1980s. They came out with the bobsleds.
Bobsled Cool Runnings.
Yeah,
I think that was Jamaica. I think Cool Runnings was Jamaica.
Who would have thought that Zimbabwe would have had a bobsledding team? So people are able to do things, and I take things for granted, obviously, because I'm yes, I've been in a few different countries, but you don't think that countries, that you see on like the National Geographic and that they're not civilized like we are. I guess they're not modernized. They don't have satellite dishes on their huts.
Right.
And you don't think they have cell phones.
Oh, they're playing Circus Master's Revenge, though.
They're playing. The blind dudes in Zimbabwe and ladies are playing Circus Master's Revenge. I'm like, hell yeah, that's awesome.
That's great. So tell us, what's going on? What's the update? You're getting close. I know we've been talking. You're in the testing phase right now. So I mean, you're right up to the almost the finish line. So give us the update.
Yeah, I've gone through it. Not the whole thing yet. I'm struggling because like I did from the beginning, because I got a lot of emails and a lot of people on the Apple This forum that this is going to be a pay to play kind of thing, because you can't get past a certain spot unless you purchase something, and that's not true, because I was able to get through chapter 1 and chapter 2 with just the pistol and the baseball bat. Mm-hmm. I know it's harder, yeah. But I didn't make it impossible. So I'm doing the same thing right now. I went all the way through chapter 1 and chapter 2 to get to chapter 3, and with just the pistol and the baseball bat, and yeah, it's still a pain in the butt. It's hard, but
I will tell.
I got through it again.
Anyone playing, though, I mean, the assault rifle is pretty fun to be shooting that thing around and taking out killer clowns.
AK-47,
yeah. No, that's fun.
Yeah. And the power-ups, the power-ups are good, but the best thing I like about the new update so far, the new build, is the game mechanics are easier. So when you hear something, and you turn to shoot it, it's there. There's absolutely no delay. So you're more accurate. And I don't like using the beacon because it's more distraction than it is a helpful for me anyway. I don't know, other people might.
That's where
I
when
don't know,
you
turn to hear the beacon instead of the sound.
right.
And so when you go to hear the beacon is not there anymore. It's moved. So I'd like to hear when you hear the enemy and you turn to face it, it's there still, and you can hear it turning, moving left or right or wherever, or closer to you, and then you shoot, it's there. But with the beacon, it's it gives you a general idea where it's at, or where it's at right now, and then you turn, it's moved. So for me, it was yeah, and so I turned it off, and I started having better success.
You know what my my tip or secret to success with the Circus Master's Revenge is? I played it on a swivel chair. So I sat in the swivel chair and just spun the swivel chair, around, because I was finding when I was standing doing it, and I was kind of like losing where I was in the room, and be done the round and take a step and run into a desk or something like that. I was like, oh, I think it'll be safer if I'm sitting in in the chair, and I'll just spin around. And that worked pretty well. Get a little dizzy, but otherwise I had good game success.
I have the same issues because when I'm playing and I'm in my room, my bedroom, whatever, I'll end up in my closet. I have like a walk-in kind of closet.
Yeah.
Or I'll end up in my bath because I have a bathroom in my room. So I'll end up somewhere. I'm like, what the hell did I get over here for? Wasn't I just spinning around in circles? How did I take
not moving?
15 steps to the left?
Right, exactly. Yeah, I was having the same problem.
But my advice is that if you don't have a swivel chair, try using your hallway, in your house or somewhere where there's two walls.
Right,
so you're not running into stuff, But even using the living room where you have the coffee table and the couch right next to you or something like that, you only need like a maybe like a 3 foot space, but you need boundaries,
right?
So you don't walk into something where
So you have
I've been playing enough.
So you have some improved game mechanics. Is there any, new weapons or new enemy types, or
it's more accurate? Yeah.
Any new weapons or new enemy types
for Chapter 3?
Yeah, for Chapter 3.
Well, yeah, there's new power-ups. There's more weapons. There's a couple more weapons, and then I didn't get to put in a melee weapon that I really wanted, which was the chainsaw. That was something that I myself and Jesse Anderson from
Illegally Cited.
Yeah. We liked about audio defense was the little, the melee weapon with the chain, and well, I didn't, for some reason that wasn't put in, but Igna, did make the sounds for it and everything, and then it was supposed to be put into Chapter 3, but it was somehow because of the virus and because of a couple of the contractors for the company to make Mental Vision Games Circus Master, they left the company. They didn't want to leave the project because the project, they liked it. They were interested, but because of other, I don't know exactly what everybody's reasons were for leaving, but there was 6 of them, and now there's only 2. So it's just it's a bare minimum, and they're they're working from home. They're not in the office, so they're not collaborating. There's no really oversight. So Igna and myself have been testing, and there were so many issues, and then we got this new build, and I haven't even gotten to Chapter 3 at a time, and I just opened the door yesterday for Chapter 3, and using the pistol and the baseball just to see if I can get through it without having to purchase stuff, and I'm getting fed up around now where I'm just like, you know what, I'm just gonna buy some stuff because I want to get through it because the storylines, is awesome and the new enemies are, good and not easier, more frustrating, but it's funny, and the
One,
circus master is still a jerk.
yeah.
He's still calling me names and talking stuff.
Are you
But there's
still voicing the protagonist?
huh?
I said, are you still voicing the
Yeah, but
protagonist?
I didn't add any new voiceovers for the protagonist.
Okay.
So the stuff I mean I did there's some protagonist lines, but as far as like during the gameplay, there's no like side remarks and that kind of stuff. Like I did the itsy bitsy spider went splat splat.
Right.
I didn't do any of that for chapter 3. I thought the storyline was good and the sideline commentary, during gameplay was, adequate enough. It's random. I did about 15 of them, so they're not. And you can go into the settings and turn it off if you want to, or turn it to medium or hot, so it's more often.
Speaking of,
Stuff gets
I was going to say, speaking of you, getting through the game, like, and you just want to see it through and get through it fast. When I review games, one of the fun things is, I'm trying to test everything. So like, I'll buy all the weapons and, use all the weapons and, which makes it kind of fun too. Like I'm not playing just to play and make it hard for myself. I'm playing to like see everything that's available that the developers have created. So that's kind of a fun thing to be able to explore everything.
So for the future, excuse me, for the future, I decided, once IndusNet Technologies decided to get rid of their gaming department, I said, well, I guess Mental Vision's on its own now. I gotta actually get my hands dirty and go out and
Yeah. So
employ
are you looking
some
for
some people.
well, that's it. So are you going to right now you're kind of partnering and contracting for the development of the game? Are you going to continue that type of model, or are you saying that you're going to actually have your own personal employees who are focused on nothing but this?
Well, that will depend on the person. When it comes to Igna, he's been with me since chapter 1. So, I don't have to pay him because he volunteered, but I still do. And it's not a paycheck. It's kind of like a project completion bonus. So we'll do like sections. Like we'll get through when we got through with section 1. I send them some money, and and when we got through, when we launched chapter 2, and it was everything was good, and I said a little more. And it was just like, hey, to keep in, and stay here with me. And when the virus hit, he went back to Guatemala, and I just surprised him with some money just to say, hey man, I know times are hard. Here, I'll help you out. And it wasn't like thousands of dollars. It was just a, hey buddy, care about you. Hope you're doing good, kind of. And it wasn't a loan. It was just a, hey, thank you.
With chapter
And
3 coming out, is that part of what people have already paid, or is it, or chapter 3 you gotta pay
it's just an
$199?
update. It's an update.
Just an update. Okay.
You'll be notified to update, and I'll let you know so you can post it on your site, and I'll let everybody know. So hey, if you played Circus Master, you need to go check out the App Store and update.
So chapter 3 is already
chapter
included
3
in the purchase price we've already paid.
Yeah, if you purchase it, you download it for free. You didn't purchase it, but
that's right.
and all the stuff. If you still have credits for like tickets and tokens and and wherever when you update the version, everything will transfer over. I was already guaranteed of that because I have heard stories about people who do their upgrades and then you have to start. You know, it's just Apple is just ridiculous sometimes. But I heard Google Play is even worse. So, but yeah, it's going to be okay. And
What are you
I'm
most
just
excited
to
about?
finish
Yeah, I was going to say, what are you most
I'm just
excited about
because
for chapter 3?
at the very end there's a band out of Canada called In Darkness, and the lead singer is visually impaired, completely blind, and I asked him, can I use some of your music for Circus Master? And he said, oh yeah, Joe, it's fine. And so he sent me the file for the song, and it plays at the end. It's the closing.
So does
And
chapter 3 close out the story of the Circus Master? Is that the or is,
no. We're what we're gonna do, because I'm starting over, right? We're gonna do a Circus Master remastered.
okay.
So it'll be a new app on the iOS store.
Okay.
And it'll be a purchased app, but it'll be a wider market. It'll have everything that Circus Master Revenge has as far as accessibility for the voiceover and everything. If you want to use I don't like using the voiceover because I don't need it. But if you're doing the login, you have to use. You know, if you don't have somebody sighted to help you, you can use the voiceover. But I turn it off because it's not needed. So we're gonna have that, but we're gonna have graphics, just like everybody else is doing. My True Sound's doing that. There's a couple other accessibility that. I mean, just listening to some of your interviews, you've interviewed people who are having graphics with the accessibility function.
Right.
So it opens up the market to people who
expose it to the
play
visual
games,
audience as well as the visually impaired audience.
I don't want to call them the visual community because that sounds dumb. Because they're not really a community, because they kind of they have their own communities, but depending on what genre would they want to play. But with the visually impaired community, we're all a community because we like to play anything we get our hands on.
Right.
As long as we can play it, and it's not ridiculously expensive, and it's worth the play, then I'll try it. I just downloaded the Kikariki, whatever.
Oh yeah,
the Dragon Cave.
Yeah, to the Dragon Cave. Yeah.
I haven't touched it yet because I'm still trying to finish the test on CMR3. But
yeah, it has kind of a similar feel to yours, except as opposed to like a gyroscope where you're moving the phone to find the enemies, you're
swipe,
actually you're swiping left and right to spin to find the enemies. So similar but a little different. Now, I know you said you're getting close. If I remember you saying mid-June, you're thinking is a hopeful target date of the release of Part 3.
Yeah. At first, I was planning my end date was January or June 27th. I figured that would give everybody, the two people that are actually still there, enough time to get all the bugs out and finish. Give me and Igna a little bit of time to test it. And I was testing and I found a bunch of stuff. And then I asked Jesse Anderson if he wouldn't mind testing. And he said, yeah, I got a bunch of stuff going on, but I could probably squeeze in, a little bit. And
I imagine you test.
Went through and
I imagine you test right up to. I imagine you test right up to the moment of release, almost, right? And you're always.
Well, it depends on the build. So right now we're having a little bit of issues with a couple of things, but nothing that's too complicated. Not time consuming to fix. So it's as far as I know about coding, it should be easy to fix. But who am I, right? And but there's a few. And then Jesse brought up a bunch of issues also. I I would have missed if he wouldn't have brought it to our attention. So I'm like, oh shit, yeah. Like some couple of things were mislabeled and in the settings menu that were brand new options. So I'm like, oh shit, I didn't know that, and I've gone through the settings menu like nitpicky kind of, just to test things out, like the music and the sound effects and that, just to see, if everything's working right.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
'Cause
The more
they
people
did
you have
change.
looking
They
at it.
did change. Yeah, they did change some of the algorithm because of Chapter 3 and some of the new functions, and with the enhanced game control, that I think that messed with a bunch of things too. But like some of the voices are different, in the settings menu. So like one function, like you still have the stupid ass sorry for my language, Microsoft voice that everybody hates. But when you click on something that's not unlocked, say for old instance, if you went to Quackshot and you hadn't purchased the shotgun yet, it would give you a different voice tone, so it's not unlocked.
Right.
Instead of saying not unlocked, or it's still locked, weapon locked, or whatever, it just says something, whatever, a Quackshot in a different voice.
Gotcha.
So you don't have to hear the unlocked or locked stuff,
So what is what is the best feature or the best thing about Chapter 3 coming out that you kind of want to let the people know to be excited about when it gets released in a few weeks?
I don't want to give too much of a sneak peek because I want to have that surprise. But if you've ever played Audio Defense, then Chapter 3 is going to kind of give you a closure.
Okay. All right. Well, there you go.
Audio Defense.
A little teaser for everybody.
Yeah,
Right, well,
it doesn't say anything too, but if you've never played Audio Defense, you wouldn't know what's going on. But if you've played it, then you're like, oh yeah, okay. That's good. I like that. Because I wanted to give credit where credit was due, and
yeah, that was your inspiration, right?
Some people don't give their inspiration, props, and I wanted to give credit where credit was due, and the whole reason why I created Circus Master of Revenge was because of Audio Defense.
Right.
So I had to say something. I didn't give any. But I couldn't make it so obvious to where I could get sued for some kind of copyright thing.
Right.
So but I had to give some kind of credit, and I referenced in a way, and unless you've ever played Audio Defense, you wouldn't really know what it was about. So.
Gotcha. Well, Joe, I think there's a lot of excitement to see Chapter.
There's a brand new antagonist in town.
Oh, very good.
That's something to look forward to.
Yeah. So the Circus Master is going to be there, but you have another antagonist as well.
Yeah, his brother comes in.
Oh.
He has a brother.
Do they get along?
Yeah, but they don't have dialogue between them.
Okay.
So he's kind of a sit-in for now, I guess, and then the Circus Master closes it out.
Gotcha. Well, Joe, I think the community is excited to see Chapter 3. Again, there's not too many first-person shooter type of games out there available for the blind and visually impaired community. So, there's a lot of buzz about Circus Master's Revenge, and I think people will be excited to see Chapter 3, which has all new weapons and new antagonists and new clown types.
Yeah.
So, I think it'll be exciting. And then launch you out into the next phase of Mental Vision and your Circus Master Remastered application.
That's going to be even better.
Excellent. Well, Joe, thank you very much. And always be sure to keep us up to date, in the group or with me, and I will keep the group updated about the release date and any other updates that you have and what's going on with Mental Vision. We're very excited for what's coming, through your organization.
All right.
All right.
Happy
Thank you, Joe.
hunting, everybody.
All right, great. Thanks, Joe.
God bless.